Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Divide, Colorado. It is a really small community west of Colorado Springs. It has a lot to offer and it has a lot that it doesn't offer. So if you want to learn all about Divide, Colorado, this is the video, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the party. On this channel we make videos about what it's like to live in Colorado, and we cover a big old territory. The Denver Front Range, like up to Boulder, Conifer, Bailey, down to Florissant, Woodland Park, and today we are in Divide, Colorado. I'm bringing up Divide, Colorado because we get people that are moving out here because they want to be away from the city. They just want to be somewhere kind of close to amenities. They want to be in the mountains, but not just, you know, self-sustaining all the way out there. They want to be able to go into town, have a coffee, have a beer, and get that stuff done. So now let's talk about housing in Divide. So what you're gonna see is a lot of, like, it looks more rural ranch style housing, and some of these properties have really good acreage. So if you're looking for acreage, there are sections of Divide that everything's like 35 acres the way it was cut up. Now there are neighborhoods, there are HOAs. You have like Spring Valley, you have Sherwood Forest Estates, Rainbow Valley, and they all have their little nuances to them, but for the most part, HOAs here are different than what you'll find in like the suburbs of Denver, where they're going to be more restrictive there about what you can and can't do with your property. Here they're a little bit more relaxed and really help out with like community essentials. In places like Rainbow Valley, the big thing that they do, since everyone's coming off the same community well, is everyone has cisterns at their property that the HOA will come around and fill up for you and kind of regulate the water. Well, let's first talk about the water, because for the most part, most people are going to be on a well, either a private well or a community well that you're all tapped into. And wells come in all shapes and sizes, so having a well is great, but you also need to know what you can and can't do with your well. Is your well just for in-house use only, or is it for like agriculture and livestock? So depending on what your well can do, it's going to determine what you can and can't do on your property. That's why when you're buying a house with us, we always have that well tested. But there are companies out here that if you're in a low producing area, or if your well goes dry for some reason, there are companies that will come around, just like the ones that will pump your septic, fill your propane tank. They'll come out and fill your water cistern, and it's actually not as expensive as you would think. I did mention property values are less expensive here, and they certainly are. Even though the property values in this area went up about 15% last year in 2022, they're still well below what you're going to find looking just west of Denver. The average prices in Divide are around $440,000. Price is going to be determined a lot based on your view and lot size, or if you're around one of the lakes, the bodies of water. Some of the HOAs in this area will give you access to non-motorized water, and so if you want to do paddleboarding, kayaking, all that stuff, you can definitely have at it around here. And this isn't really like a ski area, but it is an outdoors area with tons of trails for like dirt biking, side-by-sides, trails to hike on galore. You need to pull up the All Trails app and you can just see just like the whole area is littered with places to hike. You got state parks all around you as well, so it's super easy to just step out your door and you are in the middle of it. You're in the middle of nature, you're around the parks, and you have wildlife in this area too. So big birds, you got elk, you got coyote, you got all kinds of fox strolling through. Divide, it doesn't have a lot of, like, you don't have a Walmart here, you don't have a Target. Everything's going to be hyper local. You have Venture Foods, which is, you know, your little grocery store. You got a couple breweries over here. You got Paradox, you got Irish Pub, and so you have little watering holes, places to stop in. You are surrounded by natural forest, if you need to find a Target or a Walmart or just a lot more shopping and things to do, you're gonna head just about 10 minutes down the road. You're gonna go to Woodland Park, Colorado. So there's all the outdoor activities like snowmobiling, hiking, dirt biking, all kinds of stuff like that. Or if you like a little bit of history, it's the Wolf, like, Ahoo! Wildlife Center. That's in the area. All right, I'm at the Colorado Wolf Wildlife exhibit, and it is cool. You could just, there's wolves everywhere. There's wolves everywhere. There's the fossil museum that you can check out. All kinds of mining town history in this area. Divide is awesome. It's a little bit more rolling. At a lot of points, you have an amazing view of Pikes Peak in the Collegiate Mountains. You can see the Continental Divide from here. We are at about 9,100 square feet, so it's always a little chilly. I don't know why I did that. It's always a little chilly willy up here. Most of these homes aren't gonna have things like air conditioning, because as long as you open up a window, you get a little cross breeze through here. You don't need the AC. The big draw that I like about this area, like Florissant, Woodland Park, Divide, this area, pricing. It is a lot less expensive to be in this area than to be in Conifer or Evergreen. At the end of this video, I'm gonna show a property that we just closed up here. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's at the top of a mountain with amazing views of Pikes Peak. $150,000, $200,000 less than if you took this home and you put it north an hour closer to Evergreen. All right, what made you guys like pick one area over the other?
We don't have to work, so we didn't have to commute, and we didn't need to go into Denver.
Yeah, so that was the nice thing too, is like the commute, you didn't have to get anywhere every day.
Right.
Which is cool. Which opened us up to a lot of cool properties to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this area you still had the shorter drive to Colorado Springs, but at the same time it was a slower, nicer, like kind of chill community where they still have kids and schools and all that, but retirement should be at a slower pace than the folks that are trying to get into Denver. Really, just once we saw this area, we're like, you don't even need to take us to the other ones anymore. I think there was a difference in the people.
Okay.
So the more we visited the places, went to restaurants, shopped or whatever, talked to people, Colorado just was more of our vibe, I think. We still have the outdoors and all that stuff, the stuff we like to do, kayaking and hiking, and, the mountains are calling. I mean, that's the bottom line. You have less mosquitoes up here.
Yes.
Check his video.
Yes. Check out the video. Things you need to know about living.
Right. Drier climate, which is good, And
I think the property that you have, I think it's like it's a great mix of, so it's away, it's not too far away. You do have a little HOA to help take care of some of the stuff around there. You get neighbors, but you can't really see them, which I think is cool too.
Yeah.
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 That view, you can add stuff to a property, you can't add the view.
Right.
And Colorado offers you the best of views.
Okay, cool. Last question. What does this new home mean to you?
Yeah.
And I think it's adventure too, because we stayed in the areas we were in to make sure that our kids had a great education, that they had access to the things they needed to excel, and they did not disappoint. But now it's our time. We're both retired, and we went where we wanted to go, and then every day we could wake up and be happy where we're at and not have to drive in the car to get to where we would be happy. Honestly, the weather here too, I've had multiple knee surgeries, he's had back surgery. When there's some places where as you get older and you've had surgeries, which you wouldn't know anything about either one of those, but there are places that you don't feel exactly. But you got to know where you feel good physically, because as you start getting into your older years, times working against you, you know.
Sure.
Oh, and how could I forget the aspen trees?
Mm-hmm.
So once I actually experienced aspen trees, that was one of the things the property had to have aspen trees. And then, you know, pines always stay green.
Right.
I mean, it's nature is providing everything that's gorgeous for you. You don't have to do a lot of lawn maintenance.
yeah, lack of lawn maintenance too. And it's funny, like because when you came up and we were looking at the house, I'm like, picture all these aspens, but beautiful, because they do look kind of ugly in the winter. But yeah, now they're in bloom, and especially in the fall, like your property is going to be just gorgeous. So cool. One more bonus question: would you recommend any?
Yes.
What was I gonna say?
Yes. Do we recommend you? Yes,
no,
we do.
Moxie. Okay, well, they answered the question. If you guys are
we would
looking to
recommend.
buy, hit us up, give us a call, shoot us a text.
Yeah.
Appreciate
This
you.
guy.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bring it in. And yeah, you bought a house.
We did.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Divide is a great place if you're looking for that mountain feel. You like to have the outdoors activities. You're not too into skiing, snowboarding. You don't care if the slopes are that far away, but you like to have things so you can walk right out your door to be a part of it. Beautiful views of Pikes Peak Mountain and a community that kind of keeps to itself, just like most mountain towns. You can be involved if you want, or if you want that mountain life where you just keep to yourself. Divide definitely offers that, and the price point is really what is so sexy to me about this area. So if you're into this and you want to learn more, mountain towns are different from other towns, different counties too. Teller County, Adams County, Arapahoe County, Jefferson County, they all have different rules and regulations and limitations to what you can and can't do with your property, so you need a guide, and that's why we're always advocating for you to reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, scroll by fence, whatever way is best and easiest for you. And yeah, let's go check out some awesome mountain homes together. All right, see you guys. Love you.